Good evening and welcome to General Council for July 2022. Let's go to number 1, attendance call. Go ahead.
Amos Q. Jr. present.
Kerry Bomberry.
Dale Bomberry.
Melba Thomas.
Elena Venevri.
Cynthia Jameson.
Oh, forgot me. Greg Fraser.
Go ahead online. You're on mute.
Helen Miller.
Okay, and Hazel sends her regrets. And Audrey's on her way. And I know Dean, he might be coming. He's on the 2-row paddle. And Leslie will be 10 minutes late. Okay, let's go to number 2, identification of media. Let's go to number 3. Let us take a moment of silence to remember those that we have recently lost. Let's take a moment. Thank you. Number 4, adoption of the agenda from July 2022. 22nd. Is there any additions, deletions? If not, can I have a mover? Moved by Carrie, second by Amos. All in favor? Anybody opposed? Seen none, carried. Let's go to number 5, adoption of the General Council minutes of July 8th. Is there a mover? Moved by Melba, seconder. Second by Greg. Any questions? See none. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number 6, delegations and presentations. Jeff Thomas, First Nations cable update. Come on up, Jeff. Yeah.
Ongoing project.
So good evening and welcome. So to speak, just push the button. The red light will come on. And just speak into the mic. Just bring it. You can bring it down so you can. There you go.
All right.
Yep, the floor is yours.
I brought Troy Sider. He's a manager of Solo Cable. He's our contractor. So what we're going to do is just a presentation of where we're at and what we have in the ground and what's left. I will tell everybody our project has to be completed by the end of this year. So December 31st, 2025. So I'd like to say we're on schedule. Maybe we can start by bringing up the map that Troy has here.
I'm not sure if I'm able to bring a map up on your screen or not. I can put through HDMI or.
Yeah.
Should have.
There's usually just one.
Don't think there is. I didn't see if I can. Okay, so this should go here.
That's already here.
can't connect it, because I don't want to unplug the one that's over here, because it will plug socket. Is there another way that you can forward it to her, like in an email?
It's web-based.
Yeah, okay,
I might,
yeah, Jody, do you know how to like, so,
So we're just trying to hook up his computer so we can see his presentation.
Chief, can I suggest that maybe they try plugging it in on the right side of the TV? There's inputs on the right side of the TV. On the other side, Jody. No, okay, well.
No way that you can just email it to? No? Oh, okay. So I guess we'll do the best you can. Sorry about that.
excuse me, it's kind of hard to encompass where we're sitting because you can't see the completion map, but we are down to about 40 kilometers left, which sounds like a lot, but it really isn't that much because of what the entire project encompassed. So we are down to this is Indian Line, correct, Jeffrey?
Yes, yes.
So we're basically done the core of the build. We have a bit that we're working on now on second line,
Yes.
and then there's Tuscarora a little bit, and Oneida that we're just finishing the last little bits of the connectivity. And then we have a bit on Indian Line to do. And then on the top end, this would be all sixth, right?
Yeah, 6 and 7.
6 and 7 up on the top end that,
Oneida.
and Oneida.
Yeah.
That has to be done, so.
And 54, that's right.
And there's 54 up to Painter, right?
Yes.
So that's what's left there. It's approximately about let's say 46 kilometers. We started now pulling the fiber. So fiber's been pulled down Fourth, it's been pulled to Mohawk. We're pulling a redundant feed next week, or is it gonna go in the end of this week? So that we have redundant feeds in case anything would ever happen. That's going up to sixth line, which then goes to Jeffrey's main feed. So we'll break that down into two parts. I would say probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll start to see live customers coming up. So
Fourth line.
Fourth line is one of the biggest ones because of all the interconnections.
Yeah,
Well,
it's coming.
right? And so that one's, because it ties in so much with the entire network, that's a pretty important one to do, and then all the offshoots. So things are progressing quite well. It was a very tough winter for construction.
Absolutely.
We
lost
haven't had that in a while, but we lost,
10 to 12 weeks.
yeah, it was pretty tough, and it also made it very hard on restoration too. So we got a little bit behind on that. It's just with the winter months, you can't control that.
And the thaw.
And the thaw.
Yes.
So it's been very well, we've been working very well, we believe, with the Public Works. I believe it's Ken, our project manager mainly deals with, and it's kind of worked out well. We're trying to give him as much heads up on some of the troubled high traffic areas like Chiefswood and Fifth that we're going, and give him a few days to let him know we're in this area. So obviously we've had a few hiccups and complaints with restoration. We've tried to get them fixed up and done as quickly as we can. So things are progressing very well. We expect to fully meet the target by the end of the year. So we did have one other problem, and it was with locates. We've totally destroyed Six Nations gas because the amount of locates going in, but they've been very good to work with. And now that we're down to the crunch time, we are meeting, giving them updates every Friday on the highest priority. And that's what's made a difference to now that tie everything else in. So been great to work with. It's just, I'm sure they'll be glad when we're gone.
Well, we'll be starting to activate Fourth Line now. We have a few customers on that we've up in the Mohawk area. We've got them up and running. Everybody's really pleased with what we put out there. I can see big changes happening. You know, everything that we've planned for with the GPON and all that's all happening. So the data's there, the connectivity's there, and all the stuff that we brought forth is happening. So we're quite pleased with the direction it's heading in. So.
I think one part, do I have to press this again or no? You can. Okay, red is on. One thing we did, and we wanted to push a little harder to start connectivity earlier, but one thing we had to keep in mind, when you start marrying some of the older and newer networks, it was imperative you don't want to come out and bring a service out that's got hiccups. So we've tried to minimize as much as we could that way, and that's why it's been a little slower to the gun to bring customers online. But like Jeffrey said, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should be livening more and more customers, and on a weekly basis, just constant.
Once all the fiber's pulled, and
Just push a button. Thank you.
once the fiber's all pulled, then it's just a daily thing, kind of where we activate areas and then go in and start installing. So that's actually the easiest part of the project itself. So the guys are burying drops, so they got service wires to the house, which is part of the commitment with the program. There's no installation fee. The only fee is for the electronics. There's 2 boxes that have to be purchased. But the overall installation of the fiber to the home is all free. It's all part of the subsidies that we got. And so we bury to the side of the house. If a customer doesn't want it, that's fine. But we're recommending everybody allow us to at least bury it to the side of the house while it's free. Because if we have to go back, it's gonna be, it'll be charged then at that point. So that's the thing we're getting out there. The other thing is we've been dropping off flyers to get permission to go on property. There's a website set up with our packaging and what services are available. All of that's online. And that's at SNGREC. SNGREC.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
SNInternet.com.
.com, yes, that's our website. Overall, I think we're right on schedule here and on budget. The government's happy with what we put in front of them, so it's just a matter of getting through these next couple of months. Once the pipe's all in the ground, and that's we figure that's going to happen probably by the end of October. Then it'll be just pulling fiber and activating fiber at that point. So hopefully we can get all the drops. There's I think we had budgeted for 2,605 drops that we have to put in, service wires. So hopefully we can get that all in before the ground freezes. If anything, that's might be carried over to next year. But we can still activate by laying a service wire on top of the ground. So like we can still hook up customers. Just means we have to go back in the spring and plow them in, that's all.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, I think that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
I'm
How much-
sure when we get near the end of the project or the end, you'll want to, we can make sure you have access to this web-based and you can see how it's built then.
And we did promise Public Works that we would give them an overview of the whole serviced area once it's all completed. So that'll be part of their master plans that they're putting together and all that for the reserve itself. I have one question for you guys. So with 7th line, now there's one section there that's supposed to be still a public or a private road. The only reason I know this is because a friend of mine that lives on that road. And he says we're the only ones left that own the actual road. So what's the situation there for us to go in there and start plowing cable?
Go ahead, Dale.
I know on 7th line, the road that is designated there is narrower than what it should be. So there is actually road allowance there, but it's narrow. It should be 66 feet, but it's not. So there's sections that need to be widened. So that's, I mean, yeah, homeowners own the land right up to where the road does exist, but I think it's only like 30 feet and it should be 66. So I know years ago there was a program to try and purchase some of that off of individuals and it didn't get too far. So, but road allowance does exist there. It's not all just locketees or CP holders. There is a road allowance, but it's narrow and only on 7th line.
Is that between 6th line and Cuga Road?
Cuga Road and Onondaga as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Cuga Road and Onondaga.
Yeah, okay,
It's narrow there.
all right. Would you suggest we go and knock on doors before we go in there?
Yeah, and have a chat with Public Works. They said, because I know there was a plan to purchase, because it would have been some on that side, some on this side to try and straighten out that road, because it kind of winds around. So it changed as their original layout design they had. But yeah, I would say talk to Public Works, but it's a matter of, because if you put it right in the middle of the road and if they ever get to that point of fixing the road, then
Yeah.
you're gonna be right in the middle.
And then we'll be moving it this time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, have a chat with Public Works. I don't know which stage they're at and I don't know how much communication they've had with homeowners since then, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah, and none really.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason why we haven't done that.
Mm-hmm.
That and the 6th line with the bending road and all that stuff. We wanted to wait till the winter was over and
Mm-hmm.
everybody drives so fast around here. It's pretty scary working along the road.
So I guess I just wanted to go back to the 2 boxes that you have to purchase. So how much are the two boxes that you have to purchase?
The first box is the data box there, and it's $79, and that's if you just want internet alone, that's all you need. The second box is for TV if you want TV, and that one's it's around $65, I think.
So buying those, but the hookup is free, correct?
The install itself.
The install's
Yes.
free. And then how much are your monthly packages start at?
Anywhere from around $79 for the internet. That's whatever 7510 it's called. 75. Let me get this right down.
Yeah.
10 up. So the request side is up 10 megabits. Download is 75, and that'll suffice. The way we set that up was the government's asking for 50/10. We went to 75/10, and we basically based all our figures on a 4-person home. So 4 people on computers, cell phones, TVs, all on at the same time. This 75/10 will handle that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have Carrie.
Yeah, on 7th line, Public Works spent 100,000 on gravel widening that road. And I don't think there was too many complaints, so by putting the line in, I don't know, maybe just where you're gonna put it, but I don't think there'll be too many complaints if they can upgrade their internet. And the other one is the line that is going to the house, it's gonna be buried. Is it gonna be shot in, or is it gonna be trenched in, or?
It'll be plowed in. We have a directional plow, just plows it right in. And it's down about 8 to 10 inches.
Okay, Greg, Melba, then Dale.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Looks like it's good news. It's going to be up finally, coming to a finality, which is good. Just one thing, I just statistical wise, is how many homes do you think you'd be servicing?
Well, there's a potential, including businesses, close to 3,000.
Great, good, thank you.
And we're obviously, I mean, there's other services available. Like industry is usually around 70 to 75% saturation. So that's what we're gambling on right now. It's
Great,
70%.
great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Melba.
Jeff, through the process of your work, has there been opportunities for our people to be trained in certain areas?
Absolutely. We hired probably 4 more people full-time through us, and Troy has
We only received 1 applicant, but Eugene's been with us for almost the entire project. He came shortly on after we started, and he's been with us ever since. So we did not have a lot of applicants, and that struggled across the board, right across all our areas we cover. We've had very hard times getting employees. So now we're basically union based now, and that's the reason we went that way, was to source employees.
Dale.
Hey, Jeff, is there a pattern, like, so are you gonna do all of 5th line? And what I'm making reference to is the hookups from the road to the house. Just to give the community, because probably a lot of them are listening right now, give them some sense of idea. Is it gonna be all of 6th line, all of 5th line, all of 4th line? You can start one end, the east end, west end, just to have a system in place so they can have a sense of understanding of timing. And as well as any documentation, paperwork they gotta fill out. Do you deliver it to them, or do they gotta go to your office and pick it up, or is it?
Well, we do have it online.
Mm-hmm.
You can print it out and fill it out and then bring it to the office or send it by email. We also have drop-offs. A lot of people drop off the information. The girls at the office are starting to take installs for 4th line now, based on the permission slip to go on property. So when we got that, then we got to follow up with that.
So
we
you just
got all
gonna,
the information.
so you're just gonna be kind of jumping around and
Yeah, well,
based on the feedback or paperwork you get.
once the pipe's done, and the fiber's pulled, they're gonna activate. We're gonna be doing all areas. We're gonna probably have to bring in more people to help put drops in.
Mhm.
And then we'll probably just blitz the community to try and get as many people on as possible.
And then one other question is, in relation to, locates, is everything gonna be connected with that, was it call one or something? For,
We're
like just
not
a year from
really.
now or 2 years from now when people gotta do locates?
We're gonna do our own locates.
Oh, is that-
We have always, and we didn't have much success with one call. Gas companies facing the same thing. A number of companies are. They made some so-called improvements to their software and all that, and it's awful. It's so we found it better just to do our own thing. We're represented by Brant County as well, because we have some of the sections are in Brant County. So they're familiar with it, and we have any requests that are coming will come to us as well. Through like Hydro One, for example, the girls got it set up where once they get a request for a locate, they'll forward it to us. Brant County does the same thing, so we're gonna be looking after our own network.
Amos?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff and Troy. Are you able to, like, if we start developing our added to reserve properties that's not in this reserve right now, should the next councils or who's ever developing that land for our community include the cost of embedding the fiber optics into that property? Or is that part of your grant in the future?
Well, the grant will be over after this project's over.
Okay.
But what we tried to do is we create what we call breakouts. So that means that we coil up cable at corners, different areas. It's too bad, like Public Works wouldn't release any of the information of what their future projects are, and I wish they had, because then we could drop more fibers at certain locations, wherever they're building or whatever their ideas are. We have a second fiber that's gonna come in the spring from Net Optics that's coming in from Brantford. Now, that's gonna be our redundant path. What redundant path means is we're gonna back up the data that we get from Middleport now. So we have a separate path. So if somebody, for some reason, interferes or hacks or cuts the fiber on one side, the other side will carry it'll be still up and running. So we have a backup and until the other one can get repaired. So that's coming in. So Painter Road, I know Painter Road, they talked about for years of building a survey there. We'll be creating loops there for breakouts, and so as much as we know, we're trying to build towards that. But if not, then it would take a separate bill to actually go to that, wherever it is.
Go ahead. Follow up?
So we had this recent flood in the last couple of weeks, as you noticed.
Right.
So is all of this equipment and material are going to be resistant to that kind of flooding?
Yes,
It will be? Okay, great.
yes.
And then my third question, I guess, is I know on a radio, for our radio station, we're connected to that alarm system, the national one, for like when children go missing and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Will your system also do that to all the homes?
What'll happen is, not on the data side of things, but I know they're improving the emergency response system that they've been working on for years. Through the TV, yes.
It'll override it, right?
Yeah, it'll override the channel, and that's put on by our carrier. Because we have a managed service that brings the TV channels in. We just hire them, take their services, put it on our network. The telephone, it won't have that, and also the data won't have that. But I'm sure there's gonna be changes to the policies that they have. I know they have a new minister that's working on that right now. I can't remember her name, but I know that I was reading some stuff on that they're gonna set some different standards.
My last question is, Jeff, I live in Brantford, the Mush Hole. Is the Mush Hole going to be able to take advantage of this, like the cultural center and the renovated in my little house, and there's a little house.
Unfortunately,
Is
I don't
there,
have a feed that way, yeah.
would we be able to take advantage of First Nations cable through that or not? Or
No, not really. It's out of our area. So you're stuck with Rogers, unfortunately.
Helen?
Yeah, so my question is, what, as an existing customer, what can I expect? Like, what do I have to do as an existing customer when it's ready to be, I guess, go?
Okay, we have two situations here. One is what they call an overbuild. We have an existing system and a new system. The grant didn't cover the overbuild or the existing system, just a new plant. So we're gonna have to go back through after the fact and rebuild the interior or the existing system that we have that's on coax right now. And Helen, you're on coax right now. So at some point, there will be a change to the system. We built down your road, but we didn't put any allowances for breakouts in there right now. But that will come. And that'll be kind of like a phase 2 kind of thing. Same with the trail, same with Chiefswood Road from probably second line back to the river. Some of sixth line, a little bit of fifth line, fourth line, mainly going west of Chiefswood, and from Smoothtown back to Silver Springs Longhouse, and second line from Farmer's Store back to Chiefswood Road. Those will all have to be updated at a later date. So that's probably phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. That's gonna come in afterwards. And that's not subsidized. That'll be done out of our pocket, that part.
Audrey?
Long time coming, but it's really good to see that there's an end coming
Absolutely.
by Christmas time.
Yes, by the end of this year. Yes.
Okay, I got a couple of questions. You said there were other services available.
Mhm.
And so again, I would like you to go over what members need to purchase. So they need to buy a data box for $79,
Yes.
and what else?
And if they just want data, that's it. That's the full install. The rest
Okay.
of it is on us. The second box, if you want TV, if you don't want to do the streaming bit and all that, then there's a second box that will cost around $65, if I'm not.
Okay, and with that, what, I guess, channels, stations, et cetera, do you get?
All that's on our website. It's a managed service. It's called ATOP. And basically, we take their services that they put together, and then they give us a list of channels, what's available. They have a standard package, 1 and 2, and then the rest is add-ons. You can add on different channels. Video on demand's there, NFL package, all that's there if you so desire.
Okay, next question is, if you live stream and you already subscribe to different programs, will they just automatically come up on the new fiber?
Yeah, of course. What you'll need to do is transfer your passwords and stuff like that. So whatever your account is listed in there, you shouldn't have to do much.
Well, that's good, because I don't think a lot of people want to do much at this
All the
point.
grandkids, they know everything.
I know, I went to learn AI the other day, and my grandson said, "Grandma, I'll give you a course in that." He's like 11.
Absolutely.
So the other question I have for you, what about for customers who have like a long laneway and people are building back there? Are you gonna drop enough line for the last home to come and be built?
One of the things about fiber is distance is a big factor for it, because fiber has very little loss on it. So what happens is we can go up to 20 kilometers with one single fiber. So, before we start worrying about losing the light on it. So it's a big difference compared to 300 feet that you can do on coax.
Well, that's good to know. So will they be dropping that line if you say you're
Yes,
building back 1,000 feet back and
as long as they do it during
while
between
it's
now,
free?
between now and the end of the year, yeah.
Okay, and you say there's other services available. What did you mean by that?
Just competitive services on the internet, like Musk, he's.
You mean other providers?
Yes, other providers,
And
yes.
so if they want to use another provider and stay with whoever they're with, I don't know who it is,
That's
how do
fine.
they do it?
They just don't do anything.
Except change their password.
No, you don't even need to do that.
They'll just have the fiber and automatically just handle it.
No, what'll happen is, you just stay on the system that you're using. The only time you're gonna get on the fiber is if you're gonna switch to our, ISP, that's all.
Okay, so Rogers and the rest of them won't be allowed to use the fiber?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought a long time ago that there was a decision to allow that.
Just on the backbone side of things. But, like, New Credit, I got so many people call me on a regular basis saying, how come you guys aren't in here? We hate Rogers, we hate the service, you know, you guys should be the ones in here. But it wasn't our decision. We went and asked them, but they said no, so they went with Rogers.
Okay, just one final question. You said that it goes down second line from Farmer's Store towards 69 Corners. It has to be replaced later on. What about from,
You're covered, you're good.
all right, Jeff? Something I got out of this. 9 years. Yeah, well, I'll say I
You're
was
good,
beating
you're
around the
covered.
bush, but you know, you gotta know these things.
Right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Okay, Dale with the last question, because we have our next presenters in. Go ahead, Dale.
Just a comment, Jeff, in regards to Public Works, like, Public Works doesn't know where the development's gonna happen. If it's gonna be a housing, then housing would initiate that. But a lot of it's gonna rely on capital, which would probably come through this table. So it's difficult for Public Works to give you long-term plans, because they don't know where people are gonna be building. So
But
if
even,
anything relating to the road, yeah, they would do it, but for any development, that wouldn't be on their plate, no.
even if they could give us an idea, you know, like, we'd drop fibers there regardless whether or not they're gonna build there if we knew. So, you know, like, yeah, come next spring, they'll have a different place where they want us to be and we'll already be gone past it, so,
Okay, thank you for joining us.
all right.
Yes,
Thanks
thank you
for
for the
having us.
update and for the community. And I'm glad to hear it's been a long road. Good job. Yep. Okay, the next delegation we have is Polytechnic, Six Nations Polytechnic. Matt?
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. Thank you very much for the honor and privilege to join you.
Okay, the floor is yours. If you want to introduce yourself.
Absolutely, yes, thank you. Again, my name is Matt Ferlin. I'm the Director of Advancement at Six Nations Polytechnic. I'm not sure if everyone had the briefing note that I had prepared that was shared with the group.
Yes, it's in the Dropbox. Council.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. So, in summary, essentially, the FNASC program, which is funded by ISC, has kind of gone through a different approach with this funding where rather than a call for proposals or a typical funding application, they've sent out a survey for Indigenous organizations and or educational organizations to identify their interest and or their needs. And to do so, they've asked for a letter of support from the First Nations communities that they're representing. So that's what's led us to today's meeting to place that formal request from the council in support of that ask.
Okay, I got some hands. Go ahead, Elena, and then Cynthia. My question, I guess, is for Audrey. Do you know if lifelong learning, if they're accessing this funding, and if so, because one of the eligible activities is costs associated with coordination and development and advancing First Nations control of First Nations education. So I wonder if the applications would be competing, if it would preclude one or the other or reduce funding for one or the other.
We already made an application to ISC and we already received the funding, and we've hired Christy Jameson to help with education. We need all the funding we can get because we're looking at hiring more people to get lifelong learning back off the ground. So we need directors, we need researchers, we need office people, and we need our room back at the United Business Center, and we need all of our furnishings and computers, et cetera, back in place. But thanks for asking that question.
Didn't I promise you that we would talk about lifelong learning at the last meeting?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Cynthia?
Mine is somewhat similar to Elena's. That is for we have another adult learning center here is great. Do you collaborate on such things to sort of so you're not both going after the same dollars for the same programming?
So in the past, there has been collaborations with Great. For this particular funding, there hasn't been discussions to my knowledge in the year and a half that I've been in my role with SNP. We would be open to it for sure, but it depends on, I guess, what it is that Great's vision and or plans would be for this funding versus what SNP would be looking to align with. So the answer is absolutely we'd be open to that, yeah.
Follow up, Cynthia?
Yeah, I'm curious just because I'm new to the Great Board. I've only been to one meeting, and so I'm trying to understand the dynamics. But in my head, I always thought there was a delineation between the two. That is, in my mind, I thought Polytech would enable folks to get university credits. And then I thought Great was more like in the training for trades. That's what I had thought. I don't know if that continues that way.
I can't speak for Great. However, my understanding is that they're more so on the employment support side.
I think their name is Employment in Training.
Correct.
Training, as I understand it, like for the different trades. So Polytech wouldn't be involved in the trades end, then I understand.
Audrey?
But I could send you the application form for the survey, but it's like time sensitive, if that's what you would like. Or Linda might have it up right now. And the other one is I'd like to move on the motion. Yeah.
So it's on the floor. So moved by Audrey. Is there a seconder? Second by Amos. Questions? Go ahead, Elena. Thanks, Matt. What is the program? I was just breezing through the briefing note. What are the funds going to be used for exactly?
So the project has not been developed as of yet. At this point, we're essentially looking to move forward with the identification of our plan for seeking the funding. So again, from my understanding, rather than a formal application being created at this point, ISC is surveying organizations to identify what the needs are and the interest level of moving forward with funding.
And
so at this stage, there hasn't been a project developed, and there's no timelines identified as of yet.
Okay, and do you know where it's going to take place, whether it's on the Six Nations campus or in Brantford?
The ideal situation would be at the Six Nations campus, but again, it will come down to when we have those project meetings with our deans and our program staff and things along those lines. But absolutely, I think the goal would be at the Six Nations campus, which would be a direct correlation.
Okay, I thought I read somewhere, and I could definitely be wrong because I just gave it a quick look through on the ISK website, that it was for on reserve members.
Yeah, and I believe that's more so, like I said, supporting First Nations to establish, promote, or expand programming tailored to adult learners. So that would, yeah, absolutely be aligned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dale?
Matt, my question is in regards to, I seen in your briefing note, I said there's no formal proposal, but and sounds like, and then your answer to Elena, you're still working on your proposal. A couple questions is, I know your deadline says for July 25th. That's a lot of work to get done in 2 weeks if your deadline is the 25th. And also, there's really no, is there a dollar figure that's going to be attached to this that council is supporting?
So great questions. So firstly, the deadline for the 25th is simply the letter of support that we're seeking from the council to be able to, again, identify to ISC that we are interested in looking for funding support to move forward with adult education funding.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, your second question was about funding amounts. Again, because it's very outside of the norm, there hasn't been any numbers identified or discussed from ISC with regards to how much will be available or how much we can apply for as of yet. So again, they're taking a much different approach to this funding with regards to conducting I guess, a bit of a community scan to better understand what the needs are of the organization and how many organizations will be seeking funding. But in the briefing note, I believe it's included in the briefing note that in 2021, the budget was set at 350 million. I don't know how much has been set in that 5-year period of funding, or how much has been spent in that 5-year period as of yet. But essentially, we're in year 4 of that 5-year funding.
Okay, so it's been moved and second. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Waive second reading. Moved by Audrey, second by Amos. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Okay, Matt, thank you for joining us, and we'll get that sent out to you.
Thank you very, very kindly, everyone. Appreciate your time. Have a great evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's go to number 7, Chief's update. So, July 10th, I attended the opening ceremonies of the Special Olympics Ontario at the Wayne Gretzky Center in Brantford. I gave opening remarks and welcomed 1,200 athletes to the games. On Friday, July 11th, I opened the bocce ball competition by throwing the first bocce ball. Six Nations Police Services, along with Brantford Police Service and Ontario Provincial Police, collaborated with Special Olympics Ontario to host this event at the Six Nations Parks and Recreation at the Blue Track, which had 82 competitors. On Saturday, July 12th, I participated in the bocce ball medal presentations at the Six Nations Community Hall. And congratulations to all the athletes who participated in the Special Olympics Ontario. I'm happy to share that the 59th elected council has been actively working on the development of a 5-year strategic plan. We plan to have it completed at the end of August. I hope to share more details in the early fall. First Nations Summit on Canada's Bill C5 in Ottawa. Six Nations continues to oppose Bill C5. July 16th, the Chiefs of Ontario Leadership Council met to discuss a number of issues, including Bill C5. In the afternoon, I attended a technical briefing on Bill C5. This work was hosted by the Government of Canada. July 17th, I attended a full day of working sessions with First Nations leadership on Bill C5. Prime Minister Carney and several cabinet ministers were in attendance, as well as Indigenous members of Parliament. Prime Minister Carney, who was in attendance all day, indicated that this is the first of many discussions with the chiefs. More details will be shared on my next update. I want to ensure the community that the Six Nations of the Grand River elected council is still working with legal and the Six Nations Cannabis Commission to address concerns related to the outdoor growing of cannabis. And the community garden beds around the administration building, feel free to help yourself as things ripen. The squash is ready to be picked, as are basil leaves. Keep an eye on for the tomatoes. They'll be the next to be picked. So again, can I have a can I have a mover to accept my update as information? Moved by Leslie, second by Cynthia. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none. Carried. Let's go to number 8, recommendation from the community committee. So this was moved by Carrie and second by Helen. That therefore it is recommended that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th elected council rescind the 2019 resolution GC number 559 0813 2019 effective after May 25th 2025, as it lacks a clear end date and does not adequately address the health and safety concerns associated with holding animal wellness clinics in the Six Nations Parks and Recreation Community Hall. Dale, can you give an update on, do you know anything?
Chief,
Yep. Oh, yep.
there's something wrong with this resolution because I didn't move this. I don't sit on community committee.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't know.
Go ahead,
I don't know
Carrie.
whether Carrie does, but I know I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Carrie.
I'm not too clear on this either. This resolution 559, effective after May 25, 25. I'm not too clear on what exactly happened. I thought they were gonna put on 2 pet wellness this year, and then after that, they wanted this to come. So I thought there was gonna be another one in November. But I'm not too sure.
So this is to rescind the motion from 2019.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
came from then the community. Yes.
But by us doing that, they won't be allowed to have the one in November then, because there's no end date on this 2019. I'm not sure.
Go ahead, Dale.
I mean, the reason why they want to do it is primarily because of just the animals coming in there, and you can't help when they need to go, they go, and so it's just a matter of cleaning up. So the concern that they have there is, I guess, for the odor that gets left once it's cleaned up. So they're just concerned with the animal waste that gets produced and cleaning it up, or whether how well it gets done. So that was their concern, and the motion actually said that it would start, but there was no end date, so they were concerned with that. The only other issue is on the other side is, where is it gonna happen? No facility for them going forward in relation to the animals clinics that they'll have, so that'll be another issue that'll probably be put on our table, so. But that was the concern, was just because it was the community hall and the arena and the cleanliness afterwards, I guess.
Yeah, because it has health and safety concerns. So, Helen, are you still okay moving this, or
Yeah, I guess so.
do you want someone from the committee?
I'll move it because my name's on there, but it wasn't me that was doing this.
Okay. All
But
right.
I'll move it.
Okay. I just want to double check. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Yeah, just from what Carrie was saying, it sounded like it was open ended. These folks at no fee could use the community hall, and it could go on forever. Now the concern we heard is health and safety. But as Carrie noted, I think they do 2 a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And I don't know how much notice whoever coordinates and sets this up needs. I wonder if it's possible, if it could be effective after whenever the fall one is, if it's October. I don't know. Would that help that out, Carrie? I know that was your concern.
Yeah, I'm just, like, I thought I heard it that there was the one in November, but they said, well, that at that time, if they just have it under a tarp or under a canopy, it might be a little cold, and whether that the medicine that the dogs are getting, whether it's effective, I'm just not too sure on it.
Shirley?
So, just chiming in here, trying to help out a little bit. According to what Jessica spoke about when it was at the art review, was the main purpose for this resolution is only to rescind the existing motion so that they can go ahead forward and plan for the upcoming one. But they need to have this resolution rescinded because that's what's on the table right now.
Nope. Committee. Community committee. This came from. Okay, so go ahead, Alina. I just wonder if maybe it can come back when there's a plan for the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
there needs to be some clarification. Is that okay with the community committee? Okay, so we're just going to ask them to bring this back. So sorry, Natasha just reminded me. So let's go to Jeff Thomas. Is our mover just to accept his information? Moved by Greg, second by Cynthia. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none. Carried. Yep. Go ahead, Dale.
Yeah, just back to 6.2 as well for the letter of support. And they said we approved the letter of support, but it doesn't approve you to sign it because the draft in there has your name on it.
Okay.
So we need to add that to the motion for you to sign it.
So is that okay if everyone I add that to it? Okay. Okay, so let's go to number 9. Community committee. Dean's not with us tonight, so we'll go to Built Environment and Climate Adaptation Lands and Membership Committee. Dale, is that you?
Yes.
Yep, go ahead, Dale.
I guess in regards to a lot of the projects, there hasn't been much significant change in relation to those. I know I have the sheet from Derek that I handed out, and I'll email it to you guys, and all he did was update a few of the dates on things, so there hasn't been much change in the built environment, and a lot of the projects are going. I know when Mike was here the other day, he got approval for those 3 initial roads, and hopefully within the next week or so, he'll have a timeline as when they can start, and start those 3 roads for repairing the surface. And then I think next week there was those 7 roads that council approved that the tender closes, so hopefully they can have a timeline after that. Once it gets awarded to a contractor, then they'll have a timeline. The hope is to get a lot of this done before November, before the timeline for the coal. I think it's usually the end of November is when a lot of them want to quit installing stuff like that. So environmental, I know Sarah and I will be attending the gas committee tomorrow night. Just to have some discussions in regards to some of their discussion that they've had with different ministry people in regards to, I guess, the obligation and responsibility that from when the gas company was originally here years ago, and then when they left, I guess proper due diligence may or may not have been done on the closure of wells. So we're going to have a discussion with them primarily into a lot of the gas well closures, because some of them weren't. I guess a lot of them were plugged with wood, and now the time's gone by, so the wood is not doing its job anymore because it deteriorates. That's pretty well it. The only other concern I got, and I just wanted to have a talk with Tracy just about the directors giving updates to us at our committee. I think the committee likes it, and I would like to see that it continues. So we're going to continue to ask our committee to keep, because I guess I got the sense they were directed not to report to us anymore. But I want to continue that because it's good for us to know, and we can share that with the community when we got any questions.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, so they weren't directed not to talk to you at all. That wasn't something that was happening. I think that updates are good for sure. I will work with them to see the flow of that process to ensure that it happens efficiently.
Can I have a mover to accept Dale's update. Oh, go ahead, Carrie.
Yeah, I think Dale said 7 roads. I think there's 9 roads. I think there's 12 altogether.
Yep. Moved by Audrey, second by Melba. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. As a reminder, if you wish to speak directly with elected council on a matter, please reach out to our administration and they will work with you to get on the agenda. So lastly, our YouTube's recordings of general council meetings since November 2023 are available on our website at www.sixnations.ca. Can I have a mover to adjourn the meeting? Moved by Leslie, second by Carrie. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Thank you for joining us tonight, and have a great night, everyone.